The question for the module is, having different court levels is the best way of dealing with different crimes in Australia. I believe that having different court levels is the best way of dealing with different crimes in Australia. But before I talk about my reason, I'm going to talk to you about the court hierarchy from the lowest to the highest. In Australia, there are 4 levels in court: local, district, Supreme Court and High Court. In each court, there is a judge or a jury to make the final decision. Local court. Instead of a judge or a jury, there is a magistrate who hears the cases, then decides to set any punishment. Magistrates are qualified legal practitioners who have many years' experience in dealing with legal matters. The local court deals with minor civil disputes where people sue others for damage or injury up to $40,000. District Court. In the District Court, cases are heard by judges. It also deals with civil cases with claims up to $750,000. It hears any appeals that occurred in the local court and brings it up to the judge, lawyers, in the District Court. In some cases in the District Court, the jury will decide if the accused is guilty or not. A jury is a group of citizens in the district that are selected at random to hear the evidence in a court case. If he or she is found guilty, then the judge will decide on an appropriate sentence. Supreme Court. The highest court in New South Wales is the Supreme Court, as well as other states. It deals with civil cases with an abundant amount of money, as well as criminal cases such as murder. It may deal with appeals that came from the local court, as well as the District Court. The High Court. This court is the highest in Australia and it is located in Canberra. It mainly appeals to the Supreme Courts around the country that makes the final decision to the accused. Any decisions it makes, it applies to the whole country. Now back to my reason. The reason why having different court levels is the best way of dealing with different crimes in Australia is because if we just have a high court or a local court, then judges or magistrates have to deal with a lot of civil and criminal cases such as suing, murder, theft, drink driving, etc. By having different court levels in a hierarchy, will deal with lower civil and criminal cases in the lowest court, and the highest court will deal with serious cases that affects people living in society and makes the final decisions that applies to the whole country, as well as creating a new law every year. My other reason is that other than judges or magistrate, the jury, who are members of the public, get to contribute to examine the trial and listen to the evidence, especially to the witness. And at the end of the trial, they can see whether or not if the accused is guilty or not. This method is fair to both sides, and it won't be biased since there are no random members of the public who don't have any relationship, friends, family members, with the accused. My final reason is appealing and bail, which is beneficial to the hierarchy of the court structure. A bail is when the accused is released until the next trial in the local court, or they might go higher and take it to the district court and so on. Bail is beneficial because different courts can sort it out later and they can find more evidence to bring in the court. Appealing is when a legal decision is to be reviewed in a higher court, such as the district court hears appeals from the local court. This means that when the higher court hears appeals from the local court, then it is much easier to sort out the financial decision and hear more evidence.